Hey, it's Melissa with Sincerely Creative Mom, and we are going to create a kit today. So I had two kits that were very, very similar. The differences, so all the ribbons were the exact same. The differences were the Merry Christmas sign went with the black and white mesh, and the Let It Snow sign went with the red and white mesh. So the ribbons are the same in both of these kits. So I'm going to make one kit. I'll show you how to place the Let It Snow sign, since I've made several wreaths with this shape sign. And this is a little bit different shape. So I'll show you when we get to that part. But right now, if you have the Let It Snow kit with the red and white mesh, you'll be cutting them at 20 inches, just as I cut the black and white at 20 inches. Okay, so two different kits. They were sold separately. They were not together. Okay, we are using our 14-inch frame. Y'all, the kits came with the 10-inch frame and the sign extender. Here's the 10-inch frame. Oopsie. And the sign extender. So the kits both came with all three pieces. We're going to be working on the largest frame today. I do have other videos available for the 10-inch and the sign extender that you could use for other things. Okay, because I can't remember, and they weren't pictured, I'm not sure what color pipe cleaners came with your kit. I honestly can't remember. They're in the kit, but I don't remember which ones. So you could definitely do any of the three, black, red, or white in this instance. For right now, I'm going to go with black, just because I have the most of black. And the ribbon itself, for both kits, the ribbon itself came wrapped like this, but they're 12 inches. These are 12 inches. You need your ribbons to be 14 inches. You need them to be 14 inches, which I've already gone ahead and cut, but you need them to be 14 inches. So don't just cut here. Make sure you're doing 14 inches. I use a ribbon board. You can cut them on your mat according to the inch, but I prefer, it looks better with the 14 inches. Okay, so it comes like this. Don't just cut them. It'll be, you'll have more than what you need, and they won't be as long as what you need. Although, if you do cut these by accident at 12 inches, that's how I started off making the pancake wreath, so it will look just fine. Okay, we have our 14-inch frame. We are working on with our black pipe cleaners, and we're going to add 12 to them. So the frame itself has spots where you can put your pipe cleaners. You don't have to measure, you don't have to wonder, you don't have to figure it out, you don't have to anything. You're just going to put them in exactly where the notches are. So there's a notch here and a hole, a notch here and a hole. So wherever those coordinating holes are, just put your pipe cleaner through the hole and add it in. Now, there's only 12, so my recipes, whether it be big, small, the gigantic, overdone red Santa sign, or the pancakes, the recipe is still 12. Recipe is still 12. So I stick to that for a nice friendly budget base. And so we're just going to keep going with the 12 twist ties all the way around the frame. Now, this frame is very sturdy. It's wooden. And so you don't have to worry about how much weight you're adding to the frame or any of that. It's super great for big designs as well as shorter designs. And yes, I do have a handwritten note on my hand that I am remembering right this minute that I forgot last night. Okay, so twist, I'm just securing those nice and tight. And then we're going to go in with the mesh, and then the ribbons, and then the sign, and then a nice bow. It goes nice and quick when everything is kind of already ready for you. Again, don't forget the ribbons, and cut that you need. All right, it comes with a full roll of the black and white mesh. Again, we're using the black and white and red Merry Christmas sign. Comes with a full roll. I cut 12 pieces at 20 inches long. I still have some left. 12 pieces, 20 inches long. And I'm going to start on the outside only. on the outside only. So I'm just going to ruffle right up the center. I'm going to keep my fingers kind of together, keep that ruffle that's going up in the center as small as I can. I'm not pleating it, I'm just kind of ruffling it. And then I'm going to put it right down in this pipe cleaner so that the mesh like touches the wood. So it's all the way down in there, nothing's floating, all the way in. And then I'm going to take those ends and overlap each end, so that it kind of makes this round and flat piece, like round and flat like a pancake. So I went with the black and white mesh on this one just to be a little different. I like the border of that sign. Kind of wanted to highlight that a little bit. Now you won't see a lot of this mesh when it's all said and done, but the black and white texture gives a nice full look, even just by itself. It looks like there's a lot of stuff in it, and it's just the mesh. So if there's any spots with this sign size that need a filler, the mesh will kind of do the talking for me. So again, all the way up. So one thing I want to point out is when you have a sign that can match two different ribbon combinations, right? You then get the opportunity to have one roll of ribbon, right? One roll of ribbon, one roll of the, let's say, the snowman ribbon, and it, with this design, these measurements, it'll give you two wreaths. So when you have things that coordinate or that are kind of the same, similar, that you can do that, it's faster for your design. It's faster for all the things you're, all the picking things out and all that stuff. As long as you can make things faster for yourself, if this is a business for you, that is, definitely the key, because time is certainly money. I started off doing this in 2000, well, really for a business in 2017. And I have grown and grown and grown. I love doing it. It's been a great time. It's been a great journey. I've learned a lot along the way about business, about people, about designing, about technique. I sell on Etsy and I sell at a local boutique here near me. And, I've learned a lot through those two avenues, or vehicles, whichever you want to call it. But it's taken me time to grow, definitely little by little, at my own pace. Last one, then we'll get to some ribbon. So this technique is beautiful, perfect for between your main door and your storm door. Most people have enough room to fit this design. But it also, it's totally beautiful if you don't have a storm door. It's also great. Just overlap those two. Overlap it up here. Yeah, so we're going to start in with our ribbon. So our ribbon, we have two 2.5-inch ribbons. Put my favorite on the top and the plaid on the bottom. They're 14 inches long. I'm going to go in and add it right to the top. I'm going to hold that there for a second. I'm going to pull those apart. And we're going to do the same thing all the way around. Okay? Do that and the same thing. All the way. We're just going to add those in, and then we'll fluff them all together at the same time. Always kind of fold them so that they're kind of facing out towards me. So when I put them in there, they kind of have that look already where they're ready to face out towards me. The more you can do to help that ribbon do what you want it to, the better off you'll be in the long run. Okay. Nice. Now I'm definitely not going to leave them like that. I do have 2 ribbons here. Then I want you to see both of them for sure. Both of them are a part of my design. And then I always also want to make sure I'm putting in the ribbon the same way. So this is a one-directional ribbon. I'm trying to make sure I'm putting those ribbons in the same way. Okay, so I'm just going to take my little wire cutter that I stole from my husband's tool bench. And I keep stealing it back because this one's my favorite. I'm just going to push those in and then pull those apart and pull them apart. Pull them apart, pull them apart. So that they are staying where I want them to, not where they want to. Now, right at the very end, before I take pictures, I always kind of place them again. They'll shift through the design, and then I go one last time to put them in place. And it's not usually a matter of me, having to do some major changing. I'm just kind of shifting them and putting them where I want them. And I'm only having to pick this up because there's so much stuff on my table. Usually I just shift it around. We have a 4-inch ribbon for the bow. So we'll be using that. Okay, I'm going to come right on top for the rest of the mesh. That is pretty. I love that the white in this ribbon kind of lighten it up a little bit. So that ribbon without the white would have made it very choppy. I like how the white and that ribbon kind of blended the two. Really cute. Gonna go in with our next, right, oops, I forgot that one. Let's go over here since I forgot that one. Right on top. Forgot that last one. I'm just taking those off so that it's not confusing, so y'all can see a little easier what's going on. So this does hide the mesh, the ribbons a little bit, but once we put on that second layer, it has like a tiered look, and it's really pretty. It's perfect. In all of my years of selling, I've never had a customer say to me, hey, you shouldn't put so many ribbons on that wreath so I could see more of the mesh. I've never, not in a craft show, not at the boutique, not online, no one has ever said, hey, I want to see more mesh. I've sold a whole lot of wreaths. So keep that in mind if you're thinking that to yourself, like, hey, she's covering up all the mesh. That's okay. No customers in my history have been like, hey, I want to see, can you make me one that's just mesh? Now, I'm sure there are wreaths out there that absolutely sell with just the mesh. I'm just telling you, in my experience, I haven't had anybody ask for more. Now the mesh going on top will help that ribbon on the bottom stay in place. And then again, the very last thing I do is go back through. And really it's because I want my picture to be, you know, the most perfect, the most perfect. Of course, when they get it on their front door, it'll shift a little bit. See, I'm just doing that. Let me just make sure it looks like we stopped recording here. Let me just make sure. Oh, we're good. Sorry. Going right back up. And right on top. Now that one, I think the center is a little bit looser than I normally do. It's a little bigger, a little looser, but we're going to do our best to make sure that kind of coordinates. Yeah, it'll turn out just fine. So I just made sure that twist tie was nice and tight. And so it just did what I wanted to. Stayed in place. Keeping that mesh really little. So once the materials are cut, the construction of the wreath goes quick. So that's why I do that off camera. Again, the ribbons are 14 inches and the mesh that I'm working with right here is 20 inches for this design. Obviously there are many, many variations for wreath making. If you're doing this for your home or for someone else, there's lots of different things you can do. This is just the one I make the most and sell the most. I'm going to put that right last one right on top. Just making sure it's nice and tight in there. Now the top, you know, you're going to layer that sign on, you're going to layer the bow on. So the top I put some effort into making sure it's flat, but not like I do on the bottom, because the bottom you just want to be in place and stay in place. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to try to not keep touching that. I really do try my hardest to do that all at the end. Now look, first of all, look at how pretty that black and white mesh is, number one. It looks really pretty on the camera. And then two, watch how nice this ends up being layered. I love it. Let me just move this out of the way so I can keep going. There we go. Okay, making sure the ribbon's going in the same way every single time. And so I'm just going to add it, kind of fold it, tuck it out towards me, put it right in that pipe cleaner all the way down, nice and tight. $14 I folded them in the center, put my favorite ribbon on the top, which happens to be that. Of course, I don't want that cute little snowman. You're just going to see pieces of him all over the place. I don't want him hidden. So I want him on the top. And he's got little cute little cardinals sitting on the branch of those trees. So super cute. So again, this is a demo for two different kits. The difference could be your mesh and your sign. So the ribbons were the exact same. The ribbons were same for the tails and for the bow. Those ribbons are the same. So you want to make sure you're cutting the right ribbons. But your mesh could be different and your sign could be different. So if you had the red Let It Snow sign, you had the red and white border mesh. If you had the black and white and red Merry Christmas sign, you had the black and white mesh. Both will have their own unique looks. Both will be super duper cute. That border mesh is definitely one of my favorites. You know, that border is what you kind of see sitting out here, right? It's pretty much all the mesh you do see, which is totally fine by me. So you would still cut the mesh 20 inches the exact same as this. This one has a little bit different shaped sign, so I thought it'd be important to, you know, demo this one instead of just the square one that I normally do. So we're going to keep going all the way around. And notice I have a pattern going, so it's plaid, snowflake, plaid, snowflake. I'm going to make sure that that comes all the way around so that it's pleasing to the eye, and you're not like, wait, why do those two touch? That doesn't make sense. You're seeing clumps of those black and white and red plaids together. And so that just, it's not easy for the eye to just look at it. It doesn't just move across the wreath easy. And you're like kind of, your eyes are stopping in certain places. So we want to make sure that you're definitely, so instead of it being like this, instead of it being like that, snowflake, snowflake, plaid, plaid, you want it to be, now you can do it however you want, but it's easier to look at. It's more pleasing to the eye if it is a pattern all the way around. I'm going to still keep that outside and the ribbon, I'm not going to touch it necessarily, but if you had the red and white border, you would see red and white in here, and your sign would literally just go, you want it to cover 4 pipe cleaners. It would go just like that. And then your bow would go here. Period. The way I do so many other signs, it would go just like that. Again, your bow is going to be the same. We're just going to, is the one we're going to make right now. Just your mesh and your sign would be different. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is going to be cute. This is going to be super cute. So I'm going to go with, so again, I said it was something different. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to add, remember I said our pipe cleaners on the inside go towards that inside edge. Make sure you're doing that. And we're going to just get this to cover these and get this to cover those. Okay, and then we have a nice big bow down at the bottom. Look how, just look at it in the camera. Look how cute that is. So you can tell right away that there was something missing down here, which we're going to cover up with the bow anyways. But see, if you have them together, I don't want to, you get the visual. You get the idea. Okay, so we're going to add the sign. I'll just set that over here so we can add that. Let's make the bow next. So I have pretty bad carpal tunnel, and after making the wreath itself, my hands get a little upset with me. So I'm going to use this cute little tool here. You can see in the description where you can get the link for this. And I'm going to use, this kit came with the beautiful black and white Merry Christmas ribbon. So pretty. I'm going to unfold it and start with the other end, because this end I can come down like this and the words will be perfect. Look how pretty that is. Like old, it's pretty. All right, I'm going to give us a 11-inch tail and a 6-inch loop to start. 6.5 inch, 11-inch tail, 6.5-inch loop. And then I'm going to pinch right there. Pinch, gather, whatever you want to call it. Pleat, whatever you want to call it. Let me just make sure I did my right. 6 1/2, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to pull those ribbons apart and twist it. Actually, yeah, I'm pulling apart, twist it. My next big loop. Okay, and then I'm going to pinch it and then twist. Twist it for my last tail. Okay, so I have my loop and my loop and my tail. Let me cut this off here. And then I'm just going to leave one. Okay, I'm just going to leave one loop each. Okay. I'm going to go in with my buffalo plaid. A little bit shorter. A little bit shorter. I'm going to go pinch. Twist, loop. So these loops are about 5 1/2 inches, so an inch smaller. Pinch, twist, loop. So I'm going to do 2 loops on each side. So I did the black and red buffalo plaid. So I'm still getting that plaid in there that I like to see. I'm still getting that dark color in there. But I'm not trying not to compete with the words. Right? I'm trying to compete with the words here. And I cut that a little short on purpose. So the tail's a little bit shorter so I can see more of that. Tail. I'm going to come right in with our cute sunflower, not snowflower, snowflake. Sorry, y'all, I forget my words sometimes. Snowflake, a nice little tiny on the top. About 3 inches. And then I'm going to go 1 loop each. 1 on each side. And then both tails will come down. Okay? Super cute. I had some left over. You could do more. You could do more tails if you wanted to, but well, maybe will I do that? Let's just see. I already cut it. Let's just see. Let's just add it. I'm going to add it under though. Why not? And once we have it all in place, we'll fluff those ones out. Okay, I'm going to take my trusty little pipe cleaner here and lift it off. Keeping those all together, nice and tight. So the bow maker just kind of, I love to make the loops in my hand. I love to do that. But my hand doesn't love for me to, because I keep a death grip on them. And so my hand doesn't like for me to do that. So I leave them in the bow so it's a little easier for my hands. And I'm going to move that loop right up to the top. Now again, the bow ribbons are the exact same, as are the tail ribbons, the exact same for both of the kits that we had here. They were sold separately. They were not sold together. They were sold separately. So I know some of you, I don't think anybody got both of them, but, and then if you didn't get the kit, then this is just for fun. Just totally fine also. If you're looking for the links for the items, you can find them in the description of our YouTube video. cute. Cute, cute, cute. All right, I'm going to come right in here. Nice big dovetail there. Nice layering kind of look down. I'm leaving these nice and big on purpose. Now these are not, this is not actually designer ribbon. It's just a big 4-inch ribbon. So it's not real thick. It's not real, I mean, it's a good ribbon, but it's not like the, you know, $100 rolls of ribbon. But it's really cool looking. And I love the look of the, these is just a little bit shorter. I love the look of the 4-inch ribbon being a little bit highlighted by being a little bit longer. Right? Super cute. And then I just left these a little bit shorter on purpose. Okay. So again, we're going to work on, let's bring that back to us here. We're going to work on, I'm going to show you both options so you can see where your sign placement would be for both. So here's our cute little guy here. Where'd that go? I'm going to go right up there like this. And then I'm going to bring our bow right down here like this. Look at how pretty! Oh, that one's twisted. Pretty, 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 pretty. Okay, so I'm going to put that in right just like that. Let me just zoom out a little bit. There we go. Okay. Or you would have the red and white mesh, which in your view, you probably can't see much of the mesh at all anyways. And then instead of the black and white, you would have the Let It Snow. Adorable. Super duper cute. Love, love, love. And the red and white mesh will lighten it up a little bit. Although you can't see, it'll lighten up the base a little bit. All right, so let's get these added in. Let's put our magic on the back of this so we can make sure it's a little more secure. I'm sorry, not secure, thicker. So the staples that we have are 1/4 inch. What is this? The sign itself is not quite 1/4 inch. Sorry if that's loud. And usually I use, if I'm home, if I'm working by myself or if I'm not working on a kit, I'll use wire. But your kit came with pipe cleaners, and it actually came with, let me show you. It came with 2 of these little zip tie mounts. So what you do is you take the backing off the back. It would be beneficial, I would recommend, for you to use a little bit of super glue to help this stay. I'm talking teensy tiny little bit. So you put a little bit of glue on here, right? And stick it right where these pieces are. You'd stick it there. And then your pipe cleaner would go through here. Okay, so that's how you would attach if you don't have a staple gun. If you have a staple gun, I prefer staples, but your kits don't come with staple guns. So you have to compromise a little bit. All right, I'm going to turn this upside down to get it in, just to make it a little easier for me. And I'm going to make sure that kind of goes up there, and that goes right there. So we're just barely going to be touching and meeting all of those pieces and hiding them all. So we're going to be really careful where we're going with it. I'm going to put our pipe cleaners right through. Now this part, this is why I use wire instead, because this part can sometimes be... oh, that went right through. Oh, okay. But this part could sometimes be not fun, because you're trying to get that pipe cleaner through all those layers of mesh. And sometimes it doesn't just slide through there too easily. The end of the pipe cleaner has 2 pieces of wire that are kind of, twisted to make the actual pipe cleaner. And so they always and forever catch. Or for me, they do. I'm going to actually attach this side. before I put the other side in. There we go. Yeah, it's perfect. That is perfection. That is perfect. And I just got to make sure I get it in here on this side perfect. Okay. I'm thinking about my front porch and how the garland on my front porch is Halloween. However, it is from last year. I should probably maybe make another one. Maybe I'll do that in the coaching group last second. I mean, we have a week till I'll be gone for a week and then it's Halloween. So maybe I won't do that, but I probably should. Or I'll make one for next year. All right. Adding that sign in. And then I'm hiding those pipe cleaners. Let me just turn it over. I'm hiding those pipe cleaners so that nobody gets, you know, hurt on the, or poked or whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to hide them inside our frame, inside our frame. So on between our mesh and the frame, I'm just going to slide them right in there. And then while I have it upside down before I add the bow, I should probably add our extra. So this is optional. If you have extra pipe cleaners yourself at home, you can add these. The kit doesn't come with an extra one for it because it's not necessarily necessary. So I'm just gonna come right here. That is in fact my center, and I'm gonna grab a different color pipe cleaner so that it kind of sticks out. Like if I had black in there, they might not see it. So I'm just going to add this right in here. So any color. I would prefer not the same color as your base so it sticks out. Yellow, something different. Just so they can see it. At least that's what I do. And then this piece here is going to be pokey also. So I'm going to kind of feed it into underneath. There, so I have a nice little hook for them to hook their wreath on. And then I'll attach my bow. Hold on one second. I keep making sure that we are videoing. Okay, so I'm going to take our beautiful bow here and just slide it right through. Doing the same thing, catching that frame. There we go. Perfection. So I'm going to stand on top of it just to kind of make sure it looks good with that ribbon. Lovely. Love, love, love it. Now, you might want to put your, you know, so you can keep the shape of that ornament, the sign, a little better. You might want to put yours a little bit lower. I didn't take the time to really measure that out, but you could do that. But now I can see all of my ribbons in the bow. And as I go around here, one last little shake here. See, this one ended up all the way over there. I got to put it back in place. Because I'm going to take a picture and I want it to be, you know, I want it to be perfect or easy. Easy to just put that on there. And then I might just cut that off because that, we don't need that. If I had like, if my mesh was like, had the jute in it, where there'd be a little bit of brown and that kind of would have went in, like, I would have kept it. Maybe I would have kept it, but that was definitely outside the color theme for me. Really cute. Really, really super cute. Let me just pull it up to you so you can see a little bit closer. We have the sign, or the bow, so, so pretty. The sign, beautiful. And all of those ribbons, so, so pretty. Nice and thin to fit between the door and the main door, storm door. Super cute. I love this. I may consider, I like the ribbon so much, I may consider making both of those wreaths, just because I know for sure they'll sell. So again, it was not a double kit, but two kits remained very close. The ribbons were the exact same for both this sign and the Let It Snow sign. So the ribbons were the same for the tails and the bow. Those are all the same. Make sure you're not just getting this and cutting it, because you do need them to be 14 inches. If you want this look, if you just take your scissors and cut, it is 12 inches. So it won't look like this exactly. And trust me, that 2 inches does make a difference, okay? So, and then your mesh was the red and white instead of the black and white. Both will be super cute. I appreciate you very much for watching. I appreciate you, those of you who bought the kits. Thank you very much. I hope that you enjoy them. I hope this was easy to follow. I hope you're subscribed to us to watch us in the future. And I'll see you again. Again, it's Melissa from Sincerely Creative Mom. If you need me for anything, you can text me. You can be on our text message list, which is, you can go to melslinks.com, and it'll bring you to a spot. It'll say join email. So there's a link there. You can always text me. It's 810-498-2310. I know, kind of professional here, just kind of handwritten, but I say it so many times, and it's Mel's Links. Mel, MELSLINKS. And some people will just leave out one of those S's, and they're like, it doesn't work. That's because, again, you need both S's. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again soon. Bye, y'all.